American Indian. Any men and women that took a minute to listen. It is highly likely you may find what you've been missing. I am the prescription for radio fatigue. Runny nose, boring flows, not achy knees. Got tight joints, we can pull something real quick and kill the BS like I'm bull hunting and shit. So why, son, leave you up mixed and tight tongue? Enough shit you can't hide from. We're everywhere. Me and my brother Marcus, I'm in of a word. Whether you're in the hood or you live in the burbs, you gotta respect the sound and I will preserve. Hip hop, hip hop. Me and my brother Marcus, I'm in of a word. Whether you're in the hood or you live in the burbs, you gotta respect the sound and I will preserve. Hip hop, hip hop, keep on.
My alloy got the freshness. Marcus Steve got beats for your headset. Substantial, maybe one of the best yet. You deserve only the freshest. My alloy got the freshness. Marcus Steve got beats for your headset. Substantial, maybe one of the best yet. You deserve only the freshest.
We take it from C-Town to B-Town, B more to BK, BC to PD, DE to VA, PA to Cali, Maui to MI, Alaska, Minnesota, Oregon, NY, the Chi, Texas, Miami, and Ohio. Keep it fresh east to west, north to the south pole, France, Netherlands, Chile, Toronto, London, Japan. You know what we bout, yo. Me and my brother Marcus, I'm in of a word. Whether you're in the hood or you live in the burbs, you gotta respect the sound and I will preserve. Hip hop, hip hop. Me and my brother Marcus, I'm in of a word. Whether you're in the hood or you live in the burbs, you gotta respect the sound and I will preserve. Hip hop, hip hop, keep on.
My alloy got the freshness. Marcus Steve got beats for your headset. Substantial, maybe one of the best yet. You deserve only the freshest. My alloy got the freshness. Marcus Steve got beats for your headset. Substantial, maybe one of the best yet. You deserve only the
Y'all ain't play. You know you the truth, so if I mean it, then I say it. Hold you while you dip, like you really need to save it. Riding on your curves, about to take you to the pavement. Yeah, how I fall in love with a party girl. Green light, yeah, let's get it started, girl. I need you right now, there's no wait. Kiss me in the back, or we could take it to the basement. Plus, you know I love it when you sing to me. Baby, let me show you how it can do it. Say they do it better, but they can't prove it. Me and you, girl, that's got a ring to it. Shake for me, mommy, don't stop. Got you in my hands, little mom, can't drop. Put it on the move, girl, you got me in the groove. When I got you by my side, girl, you know I never lose. Cause your loving brings new life. Your loving brings new life. With you by my side, there's no need to revive. Cause your loving brings new life. Yeah, y'all ain't play. You know you the truth, so if I mean it, then I say it. Hold you while you dip, like you really need to save it. Riding on your curves, about to take you to the pavement. Yeah, how I fall in love with a party girl. Green light, yeah, let's get it started, girl. I need you right now, there's no wait. Kiss me in the back, or we could take it to the basement. Plus, you know I love it when you sing to me. Baby, let me show you how it can do it. Say they do it better, but they can't prove it. Me and you, girl, that's got a ring to it. Shake for me, mommy, don't stop. Got you in my hands, little mom, can't drop. Put it on the move, girl, you got me in the groove. When I got you by my side, girl, you know I never lose. Cause your loving brings new life. Your loving brings new life. With you by my side, there's no need to revive. Cause your loving brings new life.
Alrighty. Welcome everybody to the Charge live stream podcast episode. I believe this is 4 or 5, but welcome everybody to the Charge. I'm just getting everything set up in the background. In the meantime, just hopefully you guys are enjoying your Monday so far. I know that Monday, for a lot of people can be kind of like the worst day of the week, but hopefully you guys are enjoying your Monday evening, Monday afternoon, Monday night if you guys are in the East Coast or anywhere else, and might even be Tuesday even if you guys are in different parts of the world. But let us start off by letting me turn on my camera, because that is probably what's going to be helping the most, and hopefully we are live on this screen if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Okay, I'm not live on this screen, but let us turn on the video capture device. And I'm sorry, my hair is kind of crazy. I did go out on a run just about a couple minutes ago. Just got back recently and just had no time to get ready. So I am sorry that I am looking like an absolute fraud right now with this crazy hair, but it is what it is. And before we get started, guys, remember to hit that like button. Also, remember to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Of course, guys, we are live every Monday through Friday, with Tuesdays and Thursdays being the only time difference. Remember, Tuesdays and Thursdays, the stream is going to be later on. I'll make another video announcement like I did today. It is going to be from 6, well, let's go from 7 to about 8:30, 8:45. I'll give you guys a little bit of extra time as it pertains to the stream, just because I am going to be in charge of doing some basketball stuff, so I will not be available at the usual time Tuesdays and Thursdays. So catch me about 7 o'clock to about 8:30 when it comes to, like I said, sorry, excuse me for a second. Catch me on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 to about 8:35. But like I said, welcome in. Remember, there is a donation link if you guys are interested in donating to the channel. Like we said, the donations do help the channel kind of upgrade the equipment that are needed. I do want to upgrade the mic and also kind of, make a mic stand or, have something eventually that'll help with this part. But like I said, don't worry about it. What I do want is more subscriptions or more subscribers. So remember to hit that red button. Hit that subscribe button. Remember, we're about less than 300 away. And the Lakers, see how they do with ID. All right, Tyrese, we're going to get into that in just 1 second. We're going to talk about LaMelo Ball, kind of his debut game. He is playing tonight, I believe. I'm not sure if he's playing at 4 again. We might have it on in the background. We'll see. Like I said, I was very disappointed, and I'll go on my little tangent before we talk about these two things. But like I said, donations aren't obviously demanded, but what is demanded is, of course, hitting that subscribe button because we want to make sure that this channel grows. We're less than 300 away from getting that magical 1,000 subscriber mark. So if you guys are going to help us out, please help us out by doing that for us in hitting the subscribe button. Also remember hitting the like button as well. More likes in the algorithm means more people will be watching the channel. But let's get right into kind of my my biggest kind of pet peeve right now that I'm kind of dealing with as it pertains to this channel. The one thing that I am pertaining to, or the one thing that is frustrating me, as I take a sip of water, because I will be going on a tangent. So, I thought it would be a cool idea for us to do a live stream where we watch the game in the background. Like, I'll have the sound on so you guys can hear, like, what's going on, everything like that. Meanwhile, you guys will be watching along with me if you have League Pass or, if you live in the area, you're watching the game. But the problem is, and I just found out, is that because of the music in the arena, the music that plays, during timeouts and halftime shows, like that music really does affect the visibility of the channel in terms of watching the stream back. So that Orlando Magic Hawks opening series, that really pissed me off because I was not able to, you guys are not able to look at it again. Like, if you were there, it's the only time you'll be able to watch it. And so I'll have to rethink the strategy when it comes to that. Maybe I won't make it part of the daily show because I love to have these daily shows available anytime, any place. So if you guys want to go back and look at it, that'd be great. So we're going to have to figure that out. So again, I'm frustrated with it. I think it's a stupid rule that YouTube has put in place. Yeah, you can get a strike. It's just so dumb. Because I'm not showing any of the game, right? I'm just, we're listening to it and we're listening to what's going on in the game. But what's stupid is that, like, you guys aren't able to, like, listen with me. Like, it's all about, like I said, it's all about making sure, ooh, sorry for that loud, I guess maybe you guys didn't hear that. But I just find it frustrating, in my opinion, that I can't be doing that. But yeah, Tyrese, that's what I'm going to be doing. And that's what basically this, maybe the day after is what it's going to be used for the stream, is that unless, I do the Tuesday, Thursday, and the games happen after, though these are just going to be recaps. And, we're going to recap Horton Tucker and kind of what he did yesterday. We're also going to be recapping what LaMelo Ball did, and also Danny Avesia. I know that he was not one of the highly rated rookies for a lot of people, but I think that he did a tremendous job yesterday, and I think that we're going to be looking at probably a potential superstar. Maybe not potential superstar, more so a potential high-rated caliber player that could be a second or third option on a team, and Danny Avdija going perfect from his first game and has yet to miss a shot. But what better way to kind of start it off by looking at it in this sense of watching LaMelo Ball's highlights. I know, Tyrese, you're going to disagree with me about LaMelo Ball, but let's kind of watch a little bit of the highlights. We'll put it on mute so that way there's no issues here. Kind of see what LaMelo does here. Gets the rebound. Gets in transition. We'll see this. Yeah, Tyrese, that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do that. What I think I might do also, Tyrese, is I might do a live stream and watch the game, but I'll probably have the music that's part of the stream package that I have. I'll have that playing in the background while we're watching the game and, you know, kind of talk some news and rumors as well. So that way we can talk about it. But, I mean, we see the highlights here. Obviously, LaMelo Ball didn't finish with – I don't even think he finished with a single point. But the one thing that you notice about his skill and what translate is that his ability to pass the rock, to have the court vision of a point guard is something that will translate from year 1 to year 15. And that's something that, like, I really, as I kind of pause the highlights here, that is something that I think a lot of people kind of misinterpret, or some people don't understand, is that those talents, you can't develop those very quickly, or those aren't the quickest things to develop. A jump shot is developing. Now, I think that's what I'll do, Tyrese, is kind of just give my analysis and just kind of my input. And kind of talk about the games at hand. Sorry if I take the headband off. I don't want to look like a bum. And you're right, Tyrese. I mean, he does need to score in this league. But I think that he could be a better Rondo. I mean, I think that he does have the ability. He has the tools. I just think that with these Ball brothers, they're very... I think the one thing you do notice is that LaMelo is not afraid to attack. Like, he's one of those guys that is honestly just looking for the pass first. But I do think that LaMelo is going to be the best... score of the basketball. It sucks that his brother did get cut without actually playing a game, so that's kind of disappointing in my opinion. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But like I said, these skills do translate from year 1 to year 15. That's something, like I said, you can't teach, and not something that you can develop like in an instant, like 2 or 3 seasons. This is something that takes about 5 to 6 years, or even like it's just something that you're born with. And I think LaMelo is born with that ability. I mean, we look at this passing here, probably highlighted either this one was either highlight of the game, or it was the other one where he passed it to, I believe, Biyombo. I think it's on this drive right here. Gets it behind the back to Biyombo to the finish and the slam. He's hungry now because he's in the league. We'll see after 2 years. I think he's going to be hungry. I mean, the thing is, Tyrese, I understand that I know a lot of people are kind of downplaying LaMelo Ball. Hang on one second. Just texting my friend Sean. I think Sean will be joining us here on the Charge to talk about the Grizzlies. I know he wanted to watch the Grizzlies play. But the one thing I will say about LaMelo is that I think that he's going to... I don't think he's going to disappear. And I mean, we kind of see with Lonzo right now, his growth and development. I mean, obviously in the bubble, he was absolutely terrible, and I will not defend anything about Lonzo Ball. But before the bubble, he was actually playing really well, and I think a lot of people forget about that. I understand it's preseason, Tyrese, and like I said, you know, we can make the amount of like oohs and ahs from preseason all we want, but I think the biggest kind of sample size is Lonzo, and I know that Lonzo and LaMelo are not the same basketball player, but we saw how the growth from Lonzo year 1 and how he was so timid, he would finish short. Like, we didn't see this Lonzo Ball until about year 3, and I think that's what we're gonna get from Lonzo, and I think that that's what we're gonna get from LaMelo, is that sort of hunger and tenacity. And I think with Lonzo, he was actually doing pretty well pre-bubble. I think he was at least like 35% from three-point land, that being Lonzo. So I think LaMelo has the ability and the chance to do that, Tyrese. It's just going to be, you know, the biggest question to me is like how much is he going to play, because he came off the bench. He's going to be, you know, is he going to be a starter? Is he going to come off the bench? That's going to be the biggest question mark, I think, going into the future. And they said Lonzo was the next. See, the thing is like, I don't think anybody kind of thought he was going to be the next Magic. At least if you watch previous videos, Tyrese, on our channel, especially with me and my boy Pete, when we did this early, I think the first year we did this channel, it was actually me and Pete's first year doing YouTube. You know, I compared him to more of a Jason Kidd than than a Magic Johnson, because I think with Lonzo, his ability to, I don't think he's going to score out the gym. He's not going to be a guy that scores so many points. He's not going to be a guy that's demanding the, I would say, the ball to score the rock. He's more so of setting his teammates up and making sure they're in the right positions and getting them the perfect pass. I mean, he's like your basic hockey assist guy, or guys that you really think aren't so much like to the average fan, or to people that I would say to the average fans and to the people that are very casual watching the sport, they're not really going to notice what Lonzo does. Don't forget, he's the big baby. He's going to be vocal. I mean, the thing is, I think LaMelo is going to be a good player, and I think he's actually going to score the ball a little bit better than his. I think he's going to be the best scorer out of all his brothers, because I think he's relentless, he's fearless, and although, we talk about his grill, like he just bought a grill. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of that, but he's still, one thing that you can't knock LaMelo Ball for is like his ability to just get his teammates involved in the play and to really give them the easiest opportunities to score. We saw this with the Illawarra Hawks. We saw this in Lithuania. We even saw this at Chino Hills. I know at Chino Hills he was more of a cherry picker, but he's still, his passing ability is something that translates. I mean, the thing is, we praised the Joker. We praised Jokic for doing the stuff that LaMelo Ball does. But, for some people, when LaMelo Ball does it, it's like, like this is just kind of a gimmick. But at the same time, I do think that LaMelo Ball's passing is going to get him far. And I think his brother is going to be a good indication of what happens to the growth and development, right? Like his brother, it took him 3 to 4 years to really be a good player. Even like pre-bubble. And I think that's what people kind of forget. The bubble is very like, the bubble feels like a different season from the previous season that we just had, right? Where everybody was in the stadiums and all this other stuff. We kind of forget about that. And we saw that Lonzo Ball was in contention for most improved player, even though he was the number 2 overall pick. And so I think that a lot of people forget about that. I do think that you should buy a little bit of stock into him, Tyrese. Not saying that he's going to be like this sort of transcendent, like, the next like LeBron James or anything like that, but he's going to be a superstar in this league. I just think the passing is just too good. And worst comes to worst, Tyrese, he's a good starting point guard. He's a Rajon Rondo 2.0. A solid point guard that can start for any team and can get you easy assists and easy points. And that's like at minimum for LaMelo. And that's even minimum for Lonzo. Like at minimum, Lonzo Ball is just going to be a poor man's Jason Kidd. And I think that that's going to be something that a lot of fans kind of, that game doesn't really translate to glitz and glamour. It doesn't translate to the Luka Doncic who's scoring like, 50 to 40 points a game, or the Giannis who's dunking everywhere because he's so big and can Euro step because he's so tall. And so I think that's something that you have to look out for. And I think that with Lonzo and LaMelo, you're going to get that from them. I would love to see what Lonzo does this season. But I think LaMelo is on the right track. And I think that the Hornets are going to be in a predicament where they do have to start him, because I think he's just too good and he makes everybody around him better, in my opinion. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think of the LaMelo Ball story. What do you think of LaMelo Ball? Do you guys think that he's a superstar? Do you guys think that he's a star? I'd love to know your comments and opinions in the comment section down below. And let me make sure my friend is ready for us. Let me just tell him. He's debating about whether to buy League Pass. I've already bought it. Sean, I don't know if you're in the stream or not, but I'm going to be texting you. And I'll read your comment in just 1 second, Tyrese. And Tyrese, he said he'll be a decent player, but he won't be a Luka or a KD. And I think that the thing is that I don't expect him to be the next Luka or KD, to be honest with you. I don't expect him to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't expect him to be like that. The thing I do expect from Lonzo and the thing I do expect from LaMelo is the fact that they're going to be team players. And I think that, to be honest with you, I think the most disrespected players in the league sometimes can be Draymond Green, can be these players that don't really add anything to like the glitz and glamour, don't really make the team that much better. But what you do see from these guys is the fact and the ability to get teams in the best positions, to get players in the right spots. I mean, if you see a cutting player, he's going to give it to him. Or even in the hockey assist where he's going to make the right cut. So that way one guy fills in the lane and he's able to score the rock, or he's able to get his teammate an open look because he cuts so well, because he's able to, finish around the basket, or he's able to, make reads and make passes that a lot of players don't really make. And, the players that really do make that are guys like Jokic, guys like LeBron. And I think that LaMelo is going to be the same way. And I think that we're going to see a really good basketball player in the near future. I think that, Lonzo did get LeBron James' seal of approval, even though he did get traded. And I think that LaMelo is going to get the same type of deal when he plays against guys like LeBron, when he plays guys like Luka Doncic. He does need to develop the defensive skills. I'm not going to excuse him for that. But I still think that he will still be a really good player when it comes to this league. And we'll see what happens, man. Like, I'm excited about LaMelo Ball's future. I'm excited for his career. I'm excited what he can bring to the table. But at the end of the day, he still has to develop and grow into that player. So we'll see, it's only his first game in the preseason. Like you said, Tyrese, it's not a huge deal. And to be honest with you, we're probably looking way too much into it. But I still think that I've seen enough flashes, even in the preseason, to show that, okay, I think I'm liking what I'm seeing from LaMelo, and I think that he will definitely be a really good player as it pertains to his future career. So like I said, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of LaMelo Ball? Do you guys think that he will be a superstar, or do you guys think that he'll be an average player? Let me know in the comment section down below. Man, I am so thirsty. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if you guys go running at all. I know running is kind of boring at times, but it is. I am just very thirsty. I'm not going to even up front. But let's look at the news really quick. There was some news that I did want to talk about. He has upside if he keeps his head straight and doesn't do nothing. See, the thing is, I think a lot of people kind of view the Chino Hills, the stuff that LeVar Ball did. I think they viewed that stuff and kind of are lumping him and LeVar Ball in the same cloth. And, LeVar Ball does have his issues, but I still think that LeVar Ball did a really good job of raising his kids. Like, yes, the travel to Lithuania, I wish that wouldn't have happened. I wish he would have just played at Chino Hills and grown and developed. But I think that with him actually going to Lithuania and actually playing in these places, I think it did develop his skills. And I think that that's something that a lot of people need to realize, is that even though LaMelo Ball probably could have benefited from playing in college, could have benefited from playing in these other places, I still think he would have done a much better job as it pertains to him growing. But the one thing I did want to talk about, and kind of moving away from the LaMelo Ball story, is the Kevin Durant saying that he was anxious and nervous in his first game back from his Achilles. So, Kevin Durant scored 15 points on 12 shots from the floor with his first game back. And this is what the article goes on to say. I was anxious, nervous, Durant said afterward. I visualized this moment for so long, 9-10 months of thinking how it could be the next phase of my career. I was chomping at the bit, especially once COVID hit, because I didn't see a future when the season was going to start. I was going through it. So to go through it felt solid. And so the one thing I will say is that, like, I feel great, or like it's happy to see that Kevin Durant is excited to finally get that opportunity to play basketball, man. He's been out for so long that I think a lot of people kind of forget how it is to be, to be an athlete, or to be someone that kind of loves the game, right? You see all these players playing, you're like, man, I could do all this stuff. And we're seeing that Durant is just loving the game. I saw the joy. I watched that game a little bit with him and Kyrie. We'll see about that. I'm a little bit concerned about that roster. I think that they do need to make a couple of trades and trade away some of their pieces, because I don't think they have too many. They have too many mouths to feed, and I don't know if that's going to be. We'll see what happens there. Let's see here. Sorry, just kind of making sure Sean's going to be joining us or not. But nevertheless, just kind of talking about it. It is an exciting thing to see Kevin Durant back in action with his teammates. But I'm still concerned about the Brooklyn Nets. I think that there is a lot of mouths to feed, so we'll see what happens in Brooklyn. So if you guys have any comments or opinions on the Kevin Durant story, let me know in the comment section down below. I think that we're going to see Kevin Durant really be the same old Kevin Durant. I think that I think that we're not going to be seeing a lot of dunking from Durant, but we will be seeing a lot of jumpers, and I think that his jumper is solid as always. So I don't think we're going to see a washed or even like old Kevin Durant. We're going to see a Kevin Durant that's kind of, he's probably going to be more of a shooter, more of a, attack off the dribble, kind of do a pull-up rather than him really attacking and dunking the ball. So we'll see, Kevin Durant, the 7-footer himself. We'll see if he can grow and develop and really flourish in his role under Steve Nash. I know Steve Nash, they had their little Instagram thing, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving for post touches. It's becoming obnoxious at this point with those two. I'm rooting for Kevin Durant to have a great season, but I just can't root for the obnoxiousness of those two in terms of winning the championship. I still think it's going to be the Lakers, and I'm not even sure if the Nets are even going to be a championship contending team when it comes down to it. I mean, they do have great players, but it's down to Kyrie Irving, man. And Tyrese, you said it right. They look good, but Kyrie's going to sabotage everything. I mean, that's the one thing that's going to concern me about Kyrie Irving. Like, is he going to be one where he's going to be a team player and be like, okay, Steve Nash, you're the coach. I'm going to listen to you. It seems like ever since he won the championship with LeBron James and kind of realizing like, okay, it seems like LeBron James is kind of taking a lot of the credit that I deserve. I'm getting this vibe from Kyrie Irving where he just wants the credit. He doesn't really want to share it with anybody else. So that's where I'm a little bit kind of, that's where my like happiness for like Kevin Durant kind of stops. Is like, I hope that he has a great season, but it's just with Kyrie Irving there, I just don't know like how the toxicity level is going to be. Is it going to be so toxic where Kevin Durant's going to demand a trade, or they're going to trade away Kyrie Irving? Like, we're going to find out, and especially from Steve Nash. Steve Nash doesn't seem like a coach that'll be like very in your face, and that's the one thing that concerns me. But let me just make sure that we are good to go here. But yeah, I mean, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys make of this Kevin Durant story? What do you guys make of the Kyrie Irving situation with him? Like, do you guys think that there'll be a championship team? Do you guys think that there won't be? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your guys' opinion on Kevin Durant and how he felt as it pertains to the NBA offseason, or I guess the NBA preseason as we return to the NBA regular season. Another story that I kind of want to talk about, of course, is this, Westbrook unlikely to play in back-to-back games. We know that Westbrook kind of did this a little bit last season. I just don't know if I necessarily agree with this. I know Westbrook, for getting the triple-doubles that he did, it took a lot of effort. It took a lot of energy to do that. But I think at the same time, I'm not sure why he needs to be sitting out. He's 32 years old compared to LeBron James, who doesn't sit out as many games. Like, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of these players are getting this sort of, I would say they're getting a lot of these passes that I don't think that a lot of other players get. Like, I think Westbrook's a great player, and I think that a lot of the blame for him in Houston is unnecessary and wasn't that fair. But I think at the same time, when I look at it, the one thing that I get frustrated with, of course, is the situation at hand when it comes to the the Rocket situation. Like, he didn't deserve any of that backlash, but I just think that this is kind of part of it, and I think people kind of use this as a scapegoat for why he's not playing so well, and I hope that's not the case, because I think he is a really good player, and I think that he will be a tremendous superstar in this league. So, we'll see what happens. I think that a lot of people justifiably are getting pretty upset about it, but at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. And if you guys want to know the Houston Rockets, the Hornets and the Raptors are going to be playing again. This is, of course, coming from NBA League Pass, if you guys have that, or if you guys are from the Charlotte or Toronto area. I wonder if you're in Miami, you get these games. That's what I'm curious to see. But I think if you from Toronto for sure and the Charlotte area, we'll be getting this game. We will be I'll probably be watching in the background just to see how it's going. But Tyrese, I think you made a really good point that I think it's better to do recaps the next day after to kind of talk about it instead of doing a live right there and then, unless it's like a huge game. Where I think Christmas Day, I think that's what I'm planning to do for those games. I'm probably going to watch, and then immediately we're going to go live afterwards. I know you guys are probably going to be enjoying time with your friends and family, so I don't want to take too much time away from you guys. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comment section down below. I think they need that third place. Are you talking about the the Brooklyn Nets, Tyrese. And then let's see here if there's any other information that we need to know. Let's see here. Just want to make sure this is nothing. I hate when work sends you the stuff when I don't need it. Right or after the game. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think that's the plan. I think, like, in terms of... Oh, let me sign in. Why does it not keep my... The one thing I hate about this sometimes is that it just doesn't keep my... Let me mute this so we don't get copyright stricken. What do you think of JT? See, Tyrese, I was actually gonna talk about that in my next segment after I talked about this Westbrook. So just let me finish this Westbrook thing. It's gonna be really quick. For Westbrook, you know, I just think that he needs to be playing more. I understand that he was a triple-double machine. I think that's why his knees hurt so much. I think that's why he's in so much, like, that's why he gets injured a lot, is because his usage rate was so high and he was trying to get these triple-doubles. I think that's the reason why he's not playing. He's going to be playing in back-to-back games anymore, but we'll see. And Tyrese, to kind of go to your story, let's look at this up so the fans or people that aren't really familiar with the story can kind of see. Let's see here. This is from USA Today. Hopefully, you know, this is from fans. Let me close this player so it's not playing in the background. So, on Sunday, Stevens made the news that he was let to be known that Tatum, who was listed at 6 feet 8 inches, has grown and is standing taller at 6 feet 10 inches. If that's true, it's bad news for these trying to slow down Tatum. Obviously, this is like a Celtics Wire puff piece, you know, trying to hype up the Celtics, which, you know, at this point, I'm not very hyped up for, in my opinion. I just think without Kemba Walker there, it's also going to be an issue. You know, we didn't get anybody in free agency, so we'll see there. But, yeah, I mean, you know, with Jason Tatum being 6'10", I don't believe it. I think he's about 6'9", you know, maybe 6'8.5". But I don't think that he's 6'10". I mean, if we look at this photo, I'm not sure if we have a photo of him and Taco Fall, but I just don't think that he's really 6'10". I mean, I want to ask you guys, like, do you think that Jason Tatum is actually 6'10"? Because to be honest with you, I just don't think so. Like, it's one of those things, you know, when you play high school basketball and the coach asks for your height, you always lie and give yourself about 2 to 3 inches, right? Because you want to make yourself seem taller. So when the opponents or like the fans look in the little book or the little sheet of paper that they give you and they're like, okay, I'm gonna look for this player. He is, you know, let's say you're 5'11" and it's like you're now 6'1". He's gonna be like, that dude's really 6'1". I mean, that's kind of the same thing. That's the same vibes I get from Jason Tatum, is that, like, you know what? I don't think and I don't believe that Jason Tatum is 6'10". I believe that he's more so 6'8", 6'8.5", maybe 6'9". But 6'10" is just pulling. It's just a stretch. I mean, let's look at this photo. Let me go to Twitter really quick and kind of look this up. There's a photo of him and let me see here. There's a photo of Jason Tatum and Taco Fall. Let's see here. Jason Tatum. This photo right here. This photo to me kind of says to me that he is not 6'10". And the thing is, Tyrese, KD's taller than 6'10". KD puts himself at 6'10", so he doesn't get listed as a center. I think that's his whole career, and that's kind of been his gimmick since he was like since he was old. And so to be honest with you, Tyrese, KD is really 7 foot. But the thing is that KD and Jason Tatum are nowhere near the same height. I mean, if we look at this photo of Taco Fall and Jason Tatum, at 6'10", Jason Tatum's eyes should be at least at his shoulder. And the thing is that he's not 6'10". Maybe if he puts in inserts or if he, you know, has pogo sticks for shoes and that's going to be the new shoes that he plays with, it's like, it's ridiculous to even compare or even say that Jason Tatum is 6'10". Like, unless I see official measurements and the Boston Celtics and the NBA, which the NBA is going to retroactively be looking at everybody's height, everybody's weight, and everybody's age, as we know that Buddy Hield gained a couple of years in age. I think we're going to see the same thing for Jason Tatum. He's going to be 6'8.5". He's not going to be that tall. And I think people need to kind of stop this sort of propaganda. I mean, it's just like, why would you even lie about this? Like it's not like Jason Tatum is like 5'11", trying to, be 6 foot. So that way that, when people ask, how tall are you? Oh, I'm 6 foot. No, it's not like one of those situations. So I don't know why Jason Tatum is lying about his height, or why Brad Stevens is making it seem like Jason Tatum is so tall at this point. Like, we get it. Like, he's a lengthy guy, and I think that he's actually a really good player. But I just don't know why he's being viewed as a give me 1 second. What the heck? Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna have this in the background so we can see. But yeah, he's only 19. I mean, is he 19? I thought Jason Tatum was 21 years old now. Let's look at this. Yeah, he's 22 years old right now. Like, it's not like he's 19. I don't know where people are getting this, like, he's only 19, he's gonna gain more inches. Like, look, your body stops growing at the age of 25, or when you hit that peak of 25, your body begins to change. And so, Jason Tatum may have a couple more years and a couple more inches, but I don't think that Jason Tatum is going to see. Look at this official height right here on Wikipedia. I know it's Wikipedia, but 6'8.5", or 6'8". There's no way that he's 6'10". I know that he signed a big contract. I know that he is. I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, come on now. Let's not lie here. Let's not try this propaganda that he's some sort of like super giant now. Like, I think this year, honestly, is a prove-it year for Jason Tatum to kind of go on a different route. Because I think at this point of his career, at the age of 22, I think he needs to prove to us as the fans, and also to the media, and also to his peers, that he is actually taking that next step and progressing. You signed that big contract extension, and I think he deserves every penny of it. But now it's the time to put in the real work and see what he can become. Can he become the superstar player that I think a lot of us in Boston wants him to become, right? Because at the end of the day, we need him to be the leader, and also to be the scorer, and also to be a much better, to deal with the pressure especially in that Miami Heat series. He needed to do a much better job. And that's the one thing that I, as a fan, or as someone that, loves the NBA, that's the one thing that frustrated me most about Jason Tatum. There was a couple instances in that Miami Heat series where the game was on the line, or it was a crucial hit, and he missed it. He missed every single jump shot, and what really ticked me off about it is that, like, you need to be the leader. You need to be the guy that really steps up. And right now, I want him and I want him to really do step up. And that's the one thing that we're going to see if he's going to, because at the end of the day, it's really disheartening to see that that's going to go on. But let me see here, make sure we're not getting any sort of situation, man. I would honestly, I think I would get rid of Kemba, and I think they wanted to get rid of Kemba, but the unfortunate thing, as the Hornets are playing right now, I think the unfortunate thing about it is that Kemba Walker's just hurt right now. He got stem cell. I think that his trade value has absolutely tanked since he got hurt. And I think that he wasn't ready when we went into the playoffs. I think he wasn't ready in that Toronto series. He definitely wasn't ready in that Miami Heat series, and he played through it. And like I talked about with you, Tyrese, in that epic rage episode about Gordon Hayward, about the whole Boston Celtics, about Danny Ainge, we really screwed this guy up, and it's the second player now in a row where we've done this to. First it was Isaiah Thomas, and now it's Kemba Walker. And I just think that we need to do a better job of making sure that these players are fully healthy before we decide to do anything. And that's kind of the frustrating thing as a Celtics fan, is that as much as I love Kemba Walker to be out there, you need to be held accountable for the actions, and we're just not being held accountable right now. I think that we could have done a lot better job of taking care of our players, could have done a lot better job of making sure that each player is taken care of properly. Possibly coming. See, the thing is, I don't know if Mitchell Robinson is what we really need. I also heard that Tristan Thompson might not even be available for us the first game of the season. So that's an amazing stat, and that's an amazing thing to look at. So great. But I think Mitchell Robinson, as much as I think that his defense is so good, I just think that we need a veteran offensive big that can score around the rim. And I don't think we're going to be getting that from we're not going to be getting that from who are we just talking about? My goodness. We're not going to Mitchell Robertson, excuse me. Tyrese, I'm sorry that I went on like a blank tangent there. But yeah, I mean, like Mitchell Robinson is just, I just don't think that he's the right big for us at this moment. I think that if we want anybody, it has to be Miles Turner or it has to be Vucevic. I think Vucevic is someone that we really should try and trade for, so that way we can get, better offensively. I think Vucevic offensively is probably the best player for us to really look at. So I think that's where we need to focus our attention on, is to look at guys like Vucevic. And get us better players. I would love to even look at Aaron Gordon. I know that Aaron Gordon is more of a tweener between a power forward and a small forward, but if we can get him to kind of be in the low block and also stretch the floor, I'm happy to play small ball, especially if Jason Tatum's 6'10". We can have 6'10" Jason Tatum with 6'8", 6'9" Aaron Gordon and kind of have this small ball lineup that could help us score and also get rebounds, because Jason Tatum is good at getting rebounds. We definitely should have went for Marc Gasol. We should have went for any of these bigs. And I just think that, but I think Marc Gasol wanted to go to a for sure championship team, which I know the Lakers, as much as we kind of say they aren't, or I should say they are a contending championship team. They won the championship last year. They've only gotten better. We haven't made that sort of Lakers push, the way the Lakers have with the signings that they've created. And it's just really frustrating because I know that the Celtics can be a lot better, man. And I'm sorry that this is again going into a Lakers tangent, Celtics tangent. But I agree with you, Tyrese, is that Tristan Thompson's not going to cut it. And I just think that the bigs that we got are not good enough to compete with everybody. I know everybody kind of makes this thing a small ball, but you do need long, lengthy bigs. I should say guards as well, because that's really what's going to, it's really what's going to cut it for us in the championship. Not a 6'8" Grant Williams. I think Grant Williams is actually not a bad player, Tyrese. I think we should have used him a little bit more. Instead of guys like Enes Kanter, who really didn't do much for us. Should have traded. See, the thing is, Sean, I think the team knew about Kemba Walker and his knee and that I wasn't ready. Also, Sean, let me know if you want to go into the Discord and kind of talk. What I might do for you, Sean, is I might share the game with you via Discord, and then we can kind of watch it there. So the game starts at, I believe the game starts at 5. I have to do something at 5. Shoot. Sean, let me get back to you about the Memphis game. I might get Grant Williams, the Yabusele 2.0. Yeah, I mean, that is true, but I think that Grant Williams, I think that when I see him play, he's a little bit more athletic, and I think that he actually... Ooh, good finish by Terry Rozier. I still think that he's a good player, and I think that he could really provide some talent for us, so we'll see. Like I said, I think it's going to be a very interesting scenario to kind of watch and see what's going to be happening with our team, seeing if we're going to make the big trades. And Sean, we should have traded for him, but at the end of the day, we know that... that Kemba Walker was hurt even during the series, and Danny Ainge even said it after after the game, that he didn't look right because he wasn't there at the bubble. And so, I mean, that's kind of what it is. So Sean, like I said, I'm going to get back to you about the game. I probably have to do something really quick and grab something for my family, and then I will be back to watch the game. So it might be a little bit later in the game, but we will do an analysis, and I'll have you on to kind of talk about that. But other than that, I think just kind of looking at the news and rumors, let's kind of continue on if there's any that are very big. The one thing I did want to talk about really quick is Horton Tucker. I know that people are going to clown me for this, but Horton Tucker looked really good yesterday. I mean, he scored 33 points, I believe, 10 rebounds, and about 4 assists and 4 steals against the starting lineup for the Clippers, no less. So, I mean, I think that when it comes to Horton Tucker, I think you're going to see a very much improved player. Also, look at Marc Gasol here. Look at what he adds to the team. Why couldn't we have signed this guy? Why couldn't we have gotten him? I mean, look at the pass that he made to Horton Tucker for an easy layup. Even here, look at this. Marc Gasol, again. Good pass to Caldwell Pope, which allows the congestion, and then kick out to Horton Tucker. I mean, that's what we need. That's what we need as a big, and it's just frustrating that we didn't get that. Horton Tucker with some beautiful basketball here. I mean, we kind of watch here, Marc Gasol, again, creating space. Horton Tucker going at the team. I think Horton Tucker reminds me of what happened with Alex Caruso when people were pushing for Caruso over Rondo. I think Horton Tucker is going to make it very tough for the Lakers organization to say, you know what, Horton Tucker, you've done great in the preseason, but you're going to have to scale it back. I think all right, John, I won't be reading that, so I won't be getting in terms of service in trouble. But I do think that Horton Tucker has been, definitely developed by the coaches, definitely developed by the staff, because, I mean, I'm seeing a different player. I mean, he's kind of reminding me of kind of like that Giannis growth and development, right? Giannis was drafted, I believe, in 2016 or whenever it was, and kind of, spent 4 years growing in Milwaukee, and then all of a sudden he became a superstar and became what we know as the Greek Freak. And so I think that's going to be the same thing with Horton Tucker, maybe to a lesser extent, but he is giving me those Caruso vibes where I think a lot of fans are going to be clamoring for him to be in the starting lineup, to be in the rotation. And I think you are going to see Horton Tucker in the rotation, because I think what I like about him is we kind of watch the highlights and continue to watch him. Defensively, got his hands in there, fills the lane incorrectly and is going to be dunking it. I understand this is preseason, and like we talked about numerous amount of times, Tyrese and everybody here, preseason, it's not the end all be all, but this is where people make their money. This is where people make their name, and this is where people fight for playing time. Horton Tucker isn't competing with the LeBron James and Anthony Davises. He's competing with the guys like Alex Caruso, who they just signed there. Montrezl Harrell and many of those other players. He's competing for there. I mean, look at this move. He obviously missed, but it did create an opportunity for another teammate. I mean, I think he's gonna be in the starting line, or maybe not the starting lineup, but he's definitely gonna be in the rotation, in my opinion. I mean, the fact that he's able to shoot the ball pretty well, the fact that he's getting into his spots, the fact that he is able to. I mean, look. Let's look at this highlight really quick. I am probably going to go on a very, 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 very big tangent here. I'm sorry that I'm kind of whispering in the mic. I know for you ASMR people, that might be nice, but the reason why I am holding my breath and the reason why I am rolling my eyes in frustration. Look at this pass by Marc Gasol. You're telling me, Boston, that you couldn't get him when you know that we have a big issue, when you know that big man is something that has been hard to come by for the Boston Celtics since frickin' Kevin McHale, or even Kendrick Perkins if you want to go that far. And classify Kendrick Perkins as a bona fide star player in this league. You're telling me that we couldn't get that guy. We couldn't get that guy. Really? We really couldn't get Marc Gasol. We know that Marc Gasol was going to go for the cheap. We know that Marc Gasol would make the Lakers so much more better. And instead of going for him, who did we go for? Our Kardashian person. A person that is more known for their off-the-field issues than their on-court stuff. This is where Boston, this is where you really drive me I would say insane, but more so you drive me to a point of frustration. The fact that we couldn't get a Marc Gasol to help us win games, but instead we go for some other person. We go for a player that doesn't really fit our scheme, that really doesn't fit our system. We go for this other person that I am just at this point ticked off because we couldn't get a guy like Marc Gasol. Instead, we go for the usual. We go for the Tristan Thompsons, the Daniel Theis. Like, we really couldn't go for Marc Gasol so we can feed Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart on those type of passes. You're telling me that we couldn't do that? To be honest with you, Danny Ainge, if you don't go for Vucevic or any of these other bigs that are in the league, if you don't even go for Karl Anthony Towns or even make a phone call for him, you're on my list of getting people fired because, or I mean, it's to get people fired, but more so, you're on my list of people that should be fired. Let's go with that. That really should be fired because you are not progressing the Celtics the way that I think we should. Like I talked about in my previous rant video, we should be contending for championships, not settling for second best in the East. And that's the frustrating thing. And let's continue watching the highlights before I get upset because this is more so on Horton Tucker, not a Marc Gasol highlight. Even though I think he does, bring a lot of great things to the table. Block with an and one foul. Great move by Horton Tucker. Horton Tucker is going to be a special player in this league. Look at this. I mean, you tell me. I mean, Horton Tucker, as much as I think people want to clown him or make fun of him for, he's out here to kill. I mean, look at that step back. You're telling me that he can't make. I mean, he is going to be in the Lakers rotation no matter what. I mean, let's look at this. Good cut. See, players, if you guys are watching, I don't know if you guys are basketball players out there, if you guys play, rec ball or whatever it is, making cuts like that is going to win you a lot of games. It's also going to win you a lot of favors with your teammates. Because if we can look here really quick on the cut, I know we're looking at the step back here, but look at the cut that he made here. Defender playing asleep. We see that Trez Harrell's got his back to the basket. We see that Horton Tucker's making his move to go back door. I mean, look at this. Boom. Barbecue chicken right there. That will win you teammates. That'll win you the love affair that I think a lot of people are asking for. So, in my opinion, guys, that is what you really should be looking for when it comes to Horton Tucker. And I think that he will be making a case for being in the rotation, in my opinion. We'll see if he can continue to be in that category. But at the end of the day, I do think that he is a great player. And I think we're going to see a lot more of him in the near future. And let me just kind of look here to make sure that we don't have any other news and rumors on ESPN as it pertains to the NBA. Of course, we have Monday Night Football. Let's just make sure. Let's see here. Oh, we got, unfortunately, LiAngelo Ball did not make it past the 10-day contract, so I'm sorry to disappoint people that are Ball brother fans, but I do think that LiAngelo Ball, unfortunately, I would love to see him have an opportunity in the league. I think that he does deserve one, but we'll see if anybody's going to give him an opportunity. I just think it sucks that he didn't even get a chance to play in the preseason game against the Knicks. I understand you have a lot more guys, but it's like, why are you playing Blake Griffin regular season minutes? Like, why are you playing all your starters regular season minutes? Like, I understand you have I think it's the same coach. I believe it's Dwayne Casey, if I'm not mistaken. Like, why is Dwayne Casey playing these guys like it's the regular season? Like, I understand that, you're trying to get in rhythm, you're trying to get into it, but these games don't count for your stats. They don't count for anything. So why are you having these players play? And I just think that that's one frustrating thing about it, is that, like, you give guys like LiAngelo Ball not a chance to shine in the game. And I just think that's where people find their opportunities. But let's look at this story. Oh, excuse me. Kyrie Irving touches on media stance and Kevin Durant, new Nets coach. Let's listen to see what he has to say.
Period of time. So I've had to build myself back up quite a few times in my career, getting hit down in the 2015 finals with my fractured kneecap, and then, just having minor injuries and couldn't really avoid the injury bug, just being able to play a high level for a consistent amount of time. And, it was very disappointing. Having disappointing seasons the last few years hasn't necessarily been the best reflection that I wanted to put out. But, it's a different show. It's a different stage, and it's a new beginning in terms of what we're building, and moving forward with the pieces we have here. And that includes 7-Eleven, so get to know us.
Alrighty, 7-Eleven, I'm assuming that's going to be their nickname, I guess. I mean, hopefully that's not, because that's very cheesy. Cheesy sells sometimes, but I just think that we're going to hear the announcers on League Pass or on ESPN. We're going to hear the Dorsbergs. We're going to hear the other guy. I can't remember the other guy's name. Not Mike Vring, but the other sort of like the first game guy. We're going to hear him probably make 7-Eleven jokes. I mean, it's just going to be so corny, so hopefully they don't make those jokes. But let's see what Kyrie Irving did have to say about the situation. The focus is what's going on here the focus is on what's going on in here. Let me read that. I don't know why I'm yawning. I really, I'm sorry about that. The focus is on what is going on here, Irving said when asked about not speaking to the reporters previously. And I wanted to make sure that it's clear. No distractions, nothing about dispelling anything, nothing going back and forth. Irving said Monday that the comments were not directed at any specific person or at any journalist or at journalists as a group. It's really just how I feel I'm being mistreated of certain artists when we get certain platforms, of when we make decisions within our lives to have full control and ownership. We want to perform in a secure, protected place. I mean, the thing is, Kyrie Irving, I don't think there's such thing as a safe place. I don't think that safe spaces are really they don't help anybody. And I think this might be the most controversial thing I will say on talking about basketball. I mean, the thing is, the whole world is not a safe, like, I should say that, you're not going to, the U.S. is probably the only place where you're going to get a safe space. And I just don't think that that's really viable. I think people perform when there's pressure to you, when you have to actually do something. And I think that that's something that I think these players have to understand, is that, look, fans have just as much right to kind of complain about what's going on as you guys do complaining about what's going on. And I wholly 100% agree with that. But I just think with the way that Kyrie Irving went about it, the way that he's on Instagram Live with KD, the way that he's told the media that they're pawns and that they're a scam, like how are you as an athlete going to tell these fans, like, look, your opinions and your facts don't matter, but mine do, because I'm an athlete, because I'm an athlete, and I have so much, clout. I mean, I understand, like, Kyrie Irving, I 100%, I respect your opinion 100%. I respect your opinion on you trying to better the community. I fully respect that. I fully respect what you're trying to do as a movement for many players, for impoverished people, for people that are dealing with things. And I get that from Kyrie Irving's perspective. But at the same time, like, you're on we're on social media talking about how you're going to get post touches. Like, hey, I'm going to get, I'm thinking, like, maybe I should get 7 to 8 post touches. And Durant's like, yeah, we'll see. Like how, like, the way that you come off towards the media is definitely not the way that I think you want to be portrayed. And I just think that you need someone by you to hold you accountable. I think you need someone by you to be like, look, man, you can't be doing this stuff. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt your brand. It doesn't hurt anybody. The only thing it hurts is your legacy, or really, like, your perception of how people think about you. I get, like, the place where you're coming from on some of these things, but at the same time, it seems that it's from a selfish place, because you're not the one sacrificing anything, because you're not the one really, giving it up on the line. These other players are. These other players are definitely putting up on the line. You talk about LeBron's name, you speak bad about him, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I was just joking. I didn't really, people don't take a shot at it. It's not, I wasn't taking a shot at LeBron. But I think at the end of the day, you were taking shots at LeBron, and I just think that as a frustrated kind of fan right now, with what's going on, Kyrie, I just don't think that what you did was necessarily appropriate. And I understand, like, what you're trying to say. I understand what you're trying to do. I understand what you're trying to do for your brand, but at the end of the day, I think the frustrating thing about this whole situation is the fact that, like, you still don't get it. Like, there's so many things that you could do to help people. There's so many things that you could do. And, you have to help everybody else. I mean, in basketball, it's a business. It's a family. The whole NBA is your family. So I think you need to do a better job of making sure that making sure that you take care of your family. I mean, yes, as much as I would love to say, the season should stop. I mean, think about the players that aren't getting paid your salary. I mean, the amount of money you're making is absolutely astronomical compared to those players that really can't make the money. And so I just think that at the end of the day, as a fan, I'd be frustrated. And I think that when we really think about it in the heart of heart, I would be upset. And I don't think that it's fair that Kyrie Irving gets to take these shots and to take these sort of jabs at players like Kyrie Irving and to take jabs at the media. Meanwhile, he's the one that's doing the exact same thing. And he's kind of not really being held accountable for his own actions. Like, you want to hold the media to accountable to their actions, but meanwhile, you're not holding yourself accountable to yours. And even Kevin Durant, as much as he's your friend, as much as he cares about you, he still wants to win. He still wants to be one of the best players in this league. So I think that that's something we're going to find out in the near future, what he's going to be doing. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of this? And let me know what you guys think of these other stories that we're going to be talking about as well. Let me just make sure that there's no one on the other platforms kind of saying anything. Let's see here. Just want to make sure that we've got... All right, no one left any comments. Perfect. I just want to make sure that no one left comments in there. But yeah, guys, this is probably going to be the end of the show. We're going to probably get back on in an hour or two to talk about this Memphis Grizzlies game. So, guys, if you guys are interested, if you guys are wanting to stay tuned, let me know and I will get back on live. But again, guys, we did talk about the bigger stories here. We talked about LaMelo Ball. We talked about Horton Tucker. We talked about, again, a Boston Celtics rant. And just let me know what you guys think of these stories that we talked about in the comment section down below. Again, I appreciate everybody that decided to come in today and kind of give us a big boost in the likes and also a big boost in the viewership. Really appreciate people watching on Facebook. And also watching on Twitch if you guys are interested in that. Of course, guys, The Charge is the channel name, and also The Charge Stream is something that we also do for Twitter and Instagram. But anyway, guys, like I said, my name is Bernie. Here on The Charge again, giving the latest NBA news and rumors and also basketball opinions. Really love and appreciate everybody out there that's watching. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of all the stories that we talked about, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.